Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, this video is about Steelers versus Panthers game preview. Now, technically, the Steelers are still in the playoffs. Well, still have a chance for the playoffs. Like, they're still in the hunt. Technically, you need a lot of things to happen. Like, you need some teams to go on some losing streaks or some stuff that happens, some upsets. So it's not likely they'll make it. But you never know. We've seen crazier things happen before. But the Steelers don't go out there anyway. Even if they wasn't, and they was eliminated, they still gonna go out there and compete at the highest level every time. And that's what I love about Steeler football, not giving up and not just saying, hey, we're gonna just lose the rest of the games. Just go out there and just play with energy and tenacity and try to build some momentum, for next season. But since we technically still in it, the Steelers gonna be out here trying to play to hopefully maybe get the ball to roll their way or something like that on some of the other games and maybe try to get their way into a playoff spot. But we're going to start off with the Panthers positives and negatives and Steelers positives and negatives like we always do. And yeah, so starting off first, the first thing I see when I see the Panthers, J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn has emerged as elite level cornerback. He has emerged, he's been very good. The Panthers are what, 4-8, I believe. I think they're 4-8. Are they 4-8? It might be 4-8, 4-8, 5-8, or something like that. But the Panthers, J.C. Horn has emerged as an elite level player. He's out there balling. And that one play, you can pull up on the screen right here. As you see that play right there, the way he just read the quarterback, that right there was nice. That was a nice play right there. Probably one of my favorite defensive plays I saw this week. Just go out there and just balling out. Been balling out. And Brian Burns. Brian Burns, another guy who has been balling out too. 10.5 sacks has been a game record. And that's why the Panthers didn't trade him. People thought the Panthers was going to trade him. Going to trade Christian McCaffrey. And they were saying that the Panthers are kind of like, we're in a rebuilding phase. They trying to get enough draft picks, and people was calling in for Brian Burns. They were like, oh, we're not trading Brian Burns. They know that Brian Burns was a guy who can emerge and be that elite level edge rusher on one day. And he's on his way to being there. He's playing very good football this season. 10.5 sacks. Still like 4 games left to play, so he still have a chance and opportunity to get even more sacks. So he might finish with 15. You never know. Hopefully he don't get any sacks this game against us, but you never know what can happen. Their rushing attack has been good too, even since the Chris McCaffrey trade. The rushing attack has been well. Foreman been out there absolutely balling. I think Devontae Foreman played for the Texans. He was on the Texans early on in his career, I think, and then I know he was on Titans last year. Here and there, because he filled in for Derrick Henry when Derrick Henry went down with an injury, and then this year, him on the Panthers, he's been playing pretty well, and then Chuba Hubbard been playing well too. DJ Moore is another guy who's a good receiver who had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and stuff like that, out there balling. And then, of course, Terrence Marshall, he has been playing well too. And Shaq Thomas. So they have some good players. They have some good players to build around, and they have some good players to watch out for this Sunday. And the Panthers, and they're kind of like a sleeper team a little bit. You look at their roster, you're like, hey, they got some nice guys on their roster. They had bad coaching in the beginning with Matt Rule and stuff, but next year they can find a way to use those draft picks and flip those to some players to bring them back to stardom. They might be up there and be competing, especially with the division they're in. They actually have a chance to still compete. And actually, to be honest with you, they're really not out there. They're really not out of the division, really, because the Buccaneers are 6-7. The Falcons are 6-7, I believe, too. And the Panthers were 4-8, 5-8. I think they're 5-8. They're 5-8, so they actually might have a chance. The Saints, I forgot what the Saints record is, but they actually might have a chance to still maybe try to sneak their way to the division top. You never know what can happen. The NFL is crazy. We've seen crazy things happen. But the negatives about the Panthers, in my opinion, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has been playing pretty good though the past few games, but when you can get pressure to him, where you can get to him and you get sacked a couple times, and you send that blitz in, mistakes happen. It's a reason why he didn't start the season as the starter quarterback. It's a reason that he's not on the team that he was originally drafted by. Of course, he's in my opinion, he can be solid. He can be a solid player. He can be a solid guy. He can have moments where you go out there and you be like, okay, there you go. That's the first round draft pick we saw. But overall, if you grade him based off of his projection, he's not really all that. But Sam Darnold has been playing. But give him credit, he has been playing well the past few games. But hopefully, this game the Steelers can get pressure to him and cause him to make those mistakes. Now, moving on to the Steelers positives. The Steelers has actually been playing. The defense been playing pretty well. Since the bye week, the defense have they allowed 10 points to the Saints. Now 37 to the Bengals was crazy too. But if you watch the game, the offense kind of tired the defense out themselves because all them 3 and outs. But 10 points to the Saints. The game against the Colts, they only allowed what was it? The Colts had what 16, 17? And then the game against the Falcons, the Falcons only had what 13, I believe so. So it was 13 to 16. It was 16 points. So really, the Steelers have went out there and played pretty good. And then last game was 16. So the Steelers went out there and played pretty well. They've been holding teams down, even though they allowed 215 rushing yards last game. Overall, the rushing defense has been pretty good this season. It's been a big improvement from last year, and they're able to play the run game well. Last game, they kind of got lost within it. I don't know what happened, but J.K. Dobbins was running all over the place. Gus Edwards and all those guys are just running all over the place and kind of, he lost. He lost because of that too. But we really didn't lose. We actually didn't lose fully because of that. That was one reason that we lost as well. But the major reason was the turnovers. The turnovers was the reason that we lost, and that's what gets me to my negatives, of which has been the offense inability to score points and the turnovers. Now, when Kenny Pickett was playing since the bye, the team hasn't committed turnover. No interceptions, no we had fumbles, we recovered ourselves, so there was no turnovers at all. But Mr. Trubisky came in last game, and he was trying to take some chances on some of those plays, and some of those interceptions were just bad. It was just bad reads, and he just got picked off 3 times. Now, if Kenny Pickett cannot play this week, I believe that Mason Rudolph hopefully can be the starter. I will hope so. I will hope that the Steelers will go with Mason Rudolph and let him be the starter and let him just roll with him, because why not? He had nothing else to lose. I just put Mason Rudolph in as the starter. Kenny Pickett can't go this week. But that's really the negatives of the Steelers. Inability to score points and inability to capitalize on, on defensive plays. Like the defense go out there, make a play, get a stop, put them in good field position and everything, or the defense might get a turnover or something like that, but we can't never capitalize. And it's been like the summary throughout the entire season, never capitalize on anything like that. We like the first game of the season, we already kind of felt the season gonna go a little bit. They had 5 turnovers, but only had 23 points. Should have had like 35 or 40 points like that with all those turnovers. The defense put you in situations, but you went out there and just got a field goal every time. And you keep me doing that, you keep teams in it. And even the wins we had on the bye, we like the Colts win, the Falcons win, the Saints win. The Saints won. Now they got shut out in the second half, but the Colts and the Falcons won. You kept them in the game. The Bengals won. The offense was driving and doing stuff. The defense was playing. The defense started off a little shaky, but they played pretty well in the second half. They was getting stops, but the offense could not go out there and put points up. And the 3 and outs add up. You can't put Joe Burrow on the field that many times and not expect him to go out there and make some big time plays. And he made some big time plays. And that's why we lost that game. And we lost some other games too, because we was able to score points. So that's one reason the Steelers have been kind of struggling a little bit. But hopefully this game, they can come out here and get enough points to win it. In my opinion, the keys to victory for this game is getting to Sam Darnold, try to make him force turnover, try to make him make mistakes. Same thing we did with Andy Dalton. Same thing we did with Marcus Mariota. All those quarterbacks in the same range. Andy Dalton might be a little higher than those because he's a Pro Bowler back in the day a little bit. But all the quarterbacks are all in the same range. Marcus Mariota, Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton. At this level right now, at this day and age of today, they're all in the same range. You get pressure to them, you can cause them to make mistakes and make turnovers, and hopefully you can capitalize on those turnovers and those mistakes. And yeah, and that's the way to win, I feel like. And hopefully can get the run game going as well. But getting to the quarterback is the way to win. My prediction for the score is probably 23-18. Steelers win 23-18. So hopefully prediction is right. And hopefully we can go out there and win. But the season, it kind of had that dreadful feeling, that disappointment feeling like this. About the video, seeing a little like no energy in it, because we expected a lot from the team. We was like, the team will go out there. They was go out there and it's gonna play and compete, because you have a chance. If you win that game against the Ravens, he was like, hey, we can have a chance for the playoffs, because the next game we tied up at 500. Patriots and the Patriots lose. The Patriots did lose. I think we tied up at 500. We might have a chance to maybe move up in the ranks a little bit. But then you lose that game and you kind of take the energy out. Now you're still technically in it, but you kind of take the energy out, and yeah, that's what happens. But hopefully the Steelers can win this game and hopefully finish the season on a winning note. Now I know people say we're still technically in it, like I mentioned a lot of times in this video, probably too many times. But the way things are going, the way some of those teams are up, there's a lot of teams in front of us. The Bengals, they in front of us. Who else in that list too? The Jets and stuff. Those teams right there are not gonna. Those teams might not just fold like that. They ain't gonna fold like that probably too fast. So most likely, and the Titans and stuff like that. Those teams right there, they actually have they're not gonna fold. They're not gonna fold like that. They actually can put some points up too. So I doubt they lose those games. and like put us back in the scenario. But you never know what could happen. But that's all I got for this video. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.